Hi everyone, welcome to our today's vlog on health and wellness. So today I'm going to touch upon a topic on self-doubt. So in the first part, I'm going to explain what are the causes or the root cause of self-doubt, and eventually I'm going to also talk about how you can actually get rid of self-doubt, or at least you can minimize self-doubt. So self-doubt, I'm sure everyone in their life would have experienced, right? Maybe you could be a very highly scholar, or you might not be that educated, but you would have, everybody would have faced self-doubt. Sometimes people say that smart people don't face self-doubt. I mean, they just always smart, they know how to make the decisions, so they're never doubtful about their actions. So but then it's never true. Everyone has self-doubt, right? It might be the range differs from person to person, but having self-doubt is kind of obvious, right? So now self-doubt at times could be, healthy or unhealthy. But first of all, we have to understand where self-doubt could actually have come from. It could come from various sources, and it could come at various stages of life. It could have come in your childhood or in the adulthood also. So in your childhood, self-doubt would have come maybe because probably you would have narcissist parents, right? So you would have seen always your parents are always praising themselves, and you might not be liking that. So you go to the other extreme, that you don't praise yourself anymore, you always need others to praise you. So that kind of, so to believe that okay, you're doing something right. So that can happen also. Many children unfortunately also, during the childhood, they also face situations like, their parents actually, kind of appreciate if they come, if they go to them and ask for every decisions which they make. In short, the children are not enough empowered, right? So when they go to the parents and then they say this, whatever you're thinking is right or it's wrong, it's better you gotta come to me and ask me. So that's something, the children will have self-doubt, right? Whenever they face a situation that they have to take a decision on their own, there would be self-doubt issues. And let's say also during adulthood, there could be self-doubt when, let's say, you lost a job, right? A lot of questions might come to you: am I good enough, am I skilled enough? Those kind of things can come, right? That could be a source of self-doubt. Or let's say in a relationship, in a failed relationship, if it didn't work, let's say you have a divorce, and then you're kind of thinking that okay, am I really, good husband, or a good spouse, whatever, right? This kind of things might come based on a situation. So everything, if you consider self-doubt as an emotion, it could come from, action. You have done something wrong, or an experience where your parents, you probably born to an insecure parent, or it could be many things else. So in today's episode, I'm going to discuss with my wife in detail if she had some sort of experience with self-doubt, and eventually I'll conclude and I'll let you know how you can probably, get rid of self-doubt. Yeah, so stay tuned. Hi Devrati, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How was your week?
Nice.
Nice. Yeah. So, do you know what is today's discussion topic?
Yes, I know. Self doubt. So, do you have any kind of self doubt?
Well, I mean, everybody, like any other normal human being, I also have self doubt. I'm sure you also have self doubts,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
So, yeah, I have self doubts.
So, what do you think? So, is it normal or healthy with self doubt?
Well, I think it's pretty normal to have in any mental state, anything, this kind of thing is normal, right? Self doubt. I mean, you do, if you don't have any self doubt, that means you're too confident or overconfident, right? I mean, you're so sure about, how can you be so sure? That's why we are social animals. We discuss with people and learn that. Yeah.
If you're going to do any kind of the big decisions,
Especially something new decisions,
big
new things.
decisions and big decisions, so sometimes you have to discuss with
Consider
others.
others. Maybe you know it,
Mm.
but still you discuss, right? I mean, so self doubt might be to some extent, it's pretty normal.
Normal.
Yeah.
So, can you please tell me for which cases it will be unhealthy?
Okay, so if you think the situations which I told as healthy, there could be, yeah, there's other side of unhealthy self doubt. So basically, there will be certain signs of it also. You will see, let's say, every decisions, everything you want to make, every decision you make, it's like you're doubting yourself, right? Or let's say you have to ask somebody for every small decisions you make, right? Should I do this? Should I do that? You have to make your own decisions, right? Yeah, it's okay to ask people for their opinions, but you have to trust your decisions more, right? I mean, if you think, let's say, think about a CEO of the company, right? If he listens to somebody else who is less subordinate to him always, then why should he be the CEO? He should be the CEO, right? I mean, that's very evident. You might go wrong. So when, let's say, in a big company, you trust somebody to be the CEO of that company, you might go wrong 2 or 3 out of 10 times, but still you are supposed to make 7 out of 10 decisions, right? So that means, you are experienced enough to, be in that position and be, self-assured, more self-assured. So I think if you're doubting yourself in every kind of decision, or you think somebody else, I have to ask always to make a decision and he's right, even, at the end you might be right, but you think he's right, that means most likely either you have low self-esteem issues, which could ultimately lead to self-doubt, or you have other reasons, but you do definitely have very unhealthy self-doubt. Yeah, these are few examples.
In some cases in relationship also, if we want to make a relationship, for that also if we are doing if we are
Absolutely. I think right. I mean, if my spouse is always shouting at me and telling me that, well, you're not good or you're not doing this correctly, and you actually think that always true, that means you don't trust yourself. You trust your spouse more than yourself. That's very bad, and that's a very high kind of self-doubt and high. Yeah.
So how can you realize that? So if you are suffering or some sign of self-doubt,
Okay.
for suffering from self-doubt.
So I think, as I say, few things is like, if you're always doubting your decisions, that's one thing. Or if somebody tells you, let's say you made the decisions correct, and then somebody tells you you can't do this, and you believe that person, right? Or also I can tell you, right, sometimes you have done action, right, and you have to back that action with another follow-up action, right, and that follow-up action is entirely different from your first action. That means there was somebody behind you in your first action, and you have come across the second time that you have to do it on your own, right? I mean, that means you always have to ask somebody for your decision making process, and at the time when you actually have to make decisions, you can't, because the other person is not there alone with that. So all along you have been supported, but now you can't because you don't have support. So that means, and you can't make a decision, that means that's probably very good sign that you are having a high self-doubt.
Yes, and low self-esteem, that is related to everything.
Yes.
Whatever you told.
Yes. Low self-esteem, that means you don't trust yourself, right? I mean, you have esteem issues, that means you don't have confidence, self-confidence, right? Because if you don't have confidence, you have doubt. Once you're not confident, everybody yeah.
And if you are always thinking like that, you are not good enough. So for doing something good, still you are thinking like that, I am not doing good. So this is also, so for this case also.
Yes, self-criticism is okay till some level. Okay, you might be a good critic of yourself to a certain extent, right? But then too much of criticizing yourself, too much of beating yourself is not good, because then you lose confidence, right? Like, you don't trust yourself anymore. Okay, self-criticism little bit is okay. Like, you see your own blog and say, okay, maybe could have done this better. That's okay. But it's like everything is wrong. All the decisions you made in your life is wrong, right? You have done your high studies, that is not right. You're questioning all your past decisions. That means you have very high kind of self-doubt. So you should. These are the signs, red flags, so to speak.
If someone wants to give credit for you, so for credit also.
Yes, you can't take that credit, right? You think, always people say I'm doing something wrong. This guy is saying I've done something right. That means definitely something. Is it something actually more worse, right? You don't trust that I'm good enough to get some credit as well. Yeah, that's another level of self-doubt.
So how we can, so all have self-doubt, right? So could you please tell me how we can overcome this?
So as I said, the healthy part is okay. That's okay. Everyone can have some sort of self-doubt. But if self-doubt is very high, but I'll say that I'll discuss this. How you can overcome in the self-doubt in the next part.
From my point of view, also in many experiences, I face this thing, the self-doubt. So I was doing something. Suppose I was writing paper. I have started to write the first paper. So when I started that time, I was thinking like that. So how can you complete the paper? So is it published or not? So if I'm doubting myself, then so for that maximum time you have to stay positive. If I stay positive, then everything will be happen. Okay. So if you want to publish the paper, it will happen. So but for writing the paper, you are again doubting yourself. So that is, I think.
Yes, I mean, you're right, but I'll definitely discuss a few more points, how you can overcome or try to get away as much as possible self doubt.
Okay.
But yeah, thank you for your time. Have a nice week. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi everyone. So I hope you enjoyed our conversation on self doubt. All right. So now in this part I want to discuss how you can probably get rid of self doubt. Right. I mean, it's not an easy thing if you are in that state of self doubt for the last few years. It might take a little bit of time. But in general, what you can do first is probably reflect on opportunities. Right. If you have high amount of self doubt, there's a high chance that you would have let go of many opportunities, and because probably you would have underestimated yourself and you thought, I can't do this. So that might be wrong. I mean, you just reflect on them and figure out you're not ready to take on any challenges, and that kind of a big indication that a very high self-doubt, right? So take on those challenges. Some of them, it's okay to fail. Don't blame yourself too much if you fail. Human beings to fail, right? Yeah. So self-doubt is okay, but yeah, that is, it should not be too much. So another thing is, you are average of 5 people with whom you stay. So if all your friends are probably having a high amount of self-doubt, probably you're in the wrong group of people, right? You may need to get rid of that group altogether, so that yeah, you also don't develop the similar habits, right? So another point is, you got to raise your self-awareness also, right? I mean, you probably have to reflect on why you actually had self-doubt on that topic, right? That might be what is the root cause of self-doubt. You have to figure that out, right? Okay, and one last thing is, I would say is, always trust yourself more, right? Back your own decisions. Other might be right some fewer times or more times, but you got to trust yourself more. That doesn't mean don't listen to others. Listen to others, but make your own decisions. That's something which probably help you, throughout your journey. So let me know in the comments that what all topics you want me to cover, and please do like, share, and subscribe our channel. Thanks a lot.